running on mostly flat trails is a whole nother animal from running on the road. So you really want to pay attention to when that trail goes vertical. So I've got 4 tips to make you go faster uphill on the trails. Hey coaches, Eric and Nico here, bringing you another weekly video of mistakes that I can say he has made with training, with running and triathlon. So hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss another free weekly video. Email me at ewjtri for a free coaching consultation. Let's talk about running uphill today. These tips can help you even on the road, but they're even more important when they're out there on the trails, because most of the trail races, especially from Xterra, get pretty darn steep. And even some of the best runners end up walking at least parts of it uphill. So it's important to be fast and efficient when you're going up. Okay, tip number 1, keep your effort level, your rate of perceived exertion. You can also kind of monitor your heart rate the same. You don't want spikes going up and down a lot during the race. Overall, that's inefficient. You want to keep it as even of a heart rate, as even as a perceived exertion as you can. And this can be hard going uphill. Yes, you will slow down. Yes, other people will pass you. Let them go. You've got to run your own race. Overall, you will be faster and more efficient if you keep that effort level the same and let yourself slow down a bit going uphill. Okay, number 2, as that incline goes up and you're running up the hill, you're going to be more forced to land on your forefoot. That's fine. That's great. As that starts to happen, I want you to shorten your stride and actually quicken the overall turnover. So you're going to take shorter steps and have a faster turnover at which you do it, but you're not going to be going faster overall. In fact, as we just talked about in tip number 1, you're actually going to be slowing down, but with that quick turnover. And that can be kind of hard to do, so make sure you practice that by quickening and going faster without picking up the pace. Most of the time you're out there, you do some quick strides, that turnover goes quicker, and you accelerate, like when you're doing strides or something like that. But this is something different. Keep it going quickly. Do not pick up the actual pace or perceived exertion. Tip number 3, as again you go vertical, your body's going to start to lean forward. Some of that natural lean is okay, but try to stay upright as much as possible. And if you are going to lean forward, you're actually going to lean more from the ankles. Don't lean from the waist here. You don't want to be hunched over. You don't want to be leaning into the hill. Again, that's mostly upright, going more from the ankles. Your calves will feel a little bit, they'll work a little bit more, stretch a little bit more, but as that goes up, you want to lean just slightly with more of an upright stance going upward. Tip 4, best for last, probably my favorite. Get those arms swinging and pumping more than you would on the flat terrain. It can really help you get up the hill faster, especially with that higher posture we just talked about, the faster strides. You're really going to move uphill better with moving and pumping your arms, getting that whole body into it, and take some of the pressure off the legs when you use your arms. Those 4 tips are going to get you uphill more efficiently, using less energy, maybe not the fastest way, but you'll be ready to go running downhill on the other side, or at least have more later on in the race if you use those 4 tips. Now, with a lot of Xterra or any off-road races, the hills get so steep that you can't run anymore, or I'd actually go so far to say you shouldn't run. There's been some races where I've tried to run and then I went into a speed walk or a speed hike, and the hiking was actually faster, or the time saved from running wasn't worth the energy expenditure that I did. So if it gets really steep, walking is not a weakness. Go into that walk. And walk to me almost sounds slow, so think of it as a speed walk or a real good fast-paced hike. With some of the steeper terrain, it's not who can run up it because everyone's walking, it's who can speed walk or speed hike the fastest. And if I can speed walk faster than you, I'm going to get to the top faster even though no one's running. And so by getting that walk going, you're keeping your heart rate lower, you're not having the pounding of running, it's more efficient, and you're using slightly different muscles when you go into that hike versus a run. And the last piece of info, if you're really feeling it up that hills, your legs are feeling it, you can actually, as you climb, you can put your hands on your knees, not really on your thigh, but get them on your knee, and as you climb up, you can really kind of help push like that as a last resort if you need to do that to that extent. And so really a combination of walking and running will help get you up some of these really difficult rolling trail races and steep hills. Again, you can use these on the road, but much more effective on the trails, use the inclines much higher. All right, I hope that video was really helpful for you. Going uphill is so important. Next week, after you crest the hill, we'll talk about downhill running on the other side, because that's a whole other beast and animal. And a lot of times people train more for the uphills, which is great, but they don't train enough for the downhills, and there's can be a lot of cramping and a lot of injuries that happen and falls, frankly, because you're going faster on the downhill. So we'll talk about that next week. And until then, we'll see you on the trails.